So I got a haircut, and I saw the Northman, the Northman. I guess let's talk about it. The Northman stars Alexander Skarsgård as Amleth, who witnessed his father being killed and his mother being kidnapped, and so now his life mission is to go out when he's older and to find the man who killed his dad. He knows who killed him. He just wants to look for him so he can avenge his father's death and also save his mother. So that's kind of where we're at here. This movie is like, I mean, if we go back to the review I had for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where I said The Northman looks like it's probably a darker take on a movie, and then that's lighter. So that's definitely the case here. So if you're more of a lighthearted person, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is definitely the route to go. If you're more of a, you want to see something that's definitely darker, this is the way to go. I mean, it's directed by Robert Eggers, who's brought us The Witch, who's brought us The Lighthouse, and now we have The Northman. I was kind of struggling for most of the movie. I would say the first two acts to find some intrigue, something that really kept me within the story. There's bits and pieces here and there in the first two acts where I found myself getting interested and, you know, involved or enveloped in the film, but most of the first two acts, I was just kind of lost, but not confused, just more so in the sense of, again, trying to find something to really grab my attention and to keep me there. But that didn't really happen until Act 3, where for the most part is pretty epic and pretty good. I would say overall, just in general, was entertaining. There is a Star-Lord and Infinity War moment in this where the difference really is he's in a certain predicament and he planned out what he wanted his ally to do, and he somehow gets like starstruck or gets stuck in like a deer in headlights, which causes him to get captured essentially, without getting too much into spoilers or anything. And it was just kind of like, I mean, God forbid that this one warrior can't just lose like organically to, you know, 6 warriors. You know, you have to have something to distract him to beat him, like he's Thanos essentially. So that was the one thing. It didn't completely hinder the story or anything. Like the story moved forward, and I forgot about it really until the movie ended and I have to make this review. So clearly it wasn't too big of an issue, but at the time it was kind of a roll my eyes kind of moment. Performance wise, I think the star of the show is really Ethan Hawke, which plays a very small role. He's only in the beginning of the first act really, but it's kind of funny. I'm thinking about it, like, so there's 3 different projects he's going to be in this year. I mean, he may have something further down the line as well. He just has a lot of work right now. But, you know, so we have the Northman, he's, you know, Moon Knight, and the Black Phone, which was supposed to be February, but was pushed back to, I believe, July. And it's funny because I could have swore I saw a quote or heard something about him saying he never wanted to play a villain or play some evil character. But if we look at it, I mean, in the Northman, he's a king, and in this particular time period, like historically, he's not a bad person in this period, but he has slaves. So like at this time, he's not considered bad, but really, I mean, if you have slaves at any point, you're bad, you know? So he has slaves, so he's kind of a villain, but again, within the story, he's not. Moon Knight, obviously, he's the villain, but he's a villain with a purpose. And then the Black Phone, which we haven't seen yet, but it just appears like he's an evil figure, just a serial killer for no real reason. And so it kind of feels like he keeps leveling up the villain, the evil aspect. I mean, if we want to go and get deep, in First Reformed, he's probably like a villain of himself. So I don't know what it is. Maybe he got a taste and he was just like, this is nice. And all of these projects where he's a villain just kind of happen to come out within the same year. Whatever. Anyway, to move on from that, I just think he did the best, and he had a very small role. The next, obviously, Alexander Skarsgård, who is the main character, who plays Amleth. He plays a good role, as good as you can really play a guy who is just filled with hatred and vengeance. He has the physique of a true warrior, and he, he really plays it like who's very has a lot of bloodlust for the guy who killed his father, and anyone else that's involved with that guy. So it's Fjolnir, I think is his name. That's like the villain he's looking for, who killed his father, his uncle. I guess I can just give that away. It's literally in the first 20 minutes of the film, so it's not really a spoiler. He plays it well, but to this day, I still, I gotta say, I still like Bill Skarsgård's work and Stellan's work a bit more than Alexander. Alexander has yet to have a performance for me where I'm really like, nice. That right there was solid. And I feel like a lot of he's not too diverse within the films that he's been in, whereas Bill Skarsgård and Stellan have kind of gone in some different directions, and they've played different types of characters, where I kind of see Alexander Skarsgård as this, like, if you need a warrior for this medieval times, like Viking-esque, he's always just kind of like this chiseled man. That's and that's fine. It's fine, but for me personally, yeah, I just have yet to. I just want to see a performance with him where I am very blown away by it, and thus far I haven't been. So we're still waiting for that. I mean, you have other big name actors, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, who do their role well, but I just think overall in this movie, I wasn't incredibly impressed with anything in particular, except for some of the graphic moments were those were pretty cool. Some of those were pretty solid. So I would say that definitely bumps up the points a bit. The directing is good. I didn't mention Anya Taylor-Joy. She's in this a lot too. But yeah, and I like Anya Taylor-Joy a lot, but I have preferred her in other things and other performances that she's done. So I just feel like everyone in this is kind of playing an average role. Again, aside from Ethan Hawke, who stands out for me, but is a very small role again. So there's not too much to go off of. I don't think there's anything in particular very wrong with the movie. I just think it didn't really grab me. It just wasn't really my thing. I was relatively interested, relative to The Lighthouse, I was more interested, and relative to The Witch, I was less interested. It's just kind of, there's other medieval type films that, that have been worse, that have been better. It's just kind of an average movie for me. So there's not too much more to go off of aside from that. Personally, if you like movies that are a bit darker, that are more graphic, things like that, you're gonna prefer to go to see this one other than The Unbearable Weight. But if you're more of a lighthearted, you like seeing something more fun, you want to have some laughs, you definitely want to go see The Unbearable Weight versus this one, if you have to choose between the two. But that's just, my 2 cents. My rating on this movie is going to be a 5.8 out of 10. What do you guys think of it? I know this has been reviewed very, very well. People seem to really enjoy it. So that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're getting just what my idea about it. But if you want to, trust the general audience, then, they definitely really liked it. So there's a good chance that if the description of this movie sounds like your cup of tea, that you'll enjoy it more than I did. Just personally, it didn't hit with me exactly. So leave in the comments if you liked it. What am I wrong about? What was it that you liked about it? There's things in this movie to like and things that I did like. But go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with other reviews. Like the video if you liked the video, and leave a comment again on what you think of the movie. But aside from that, I hope you guys have a great day.